Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 20th of November. So looking at the euro dollar first, and well, it looks like mildly bullish, still seems to be sitting. Looking from the daily point of view, we broke and closed through the trend line yesterday that was sitting there, that bearish trend line. So it does look like we're heading into a more bullish view at the moment, but could be shortish lived, we'll see. But keep an open mind about things. Just got to keep an open mind in these markets. I'm looking back at the dailies here. So we're in that sort of daily 50 area, around about 115.05. Seems like a logical target sort of zone, if not higher into the R1. But certainly that daily 50 looks like a potential draw. Now coming down the time frames, you see the high lows, high highs it pitched through yesterday. Never really turned to. As I said, if it broke that 8, it could be on for the weekly pivot. Well, it's not breaking the 8, so it's not simple really. It only got back as far as the 21 yesterday, the daily 60-minute 21, and has since sort of bounced off that and is currently pushing on upwards. Got the daily pivot again below, untouched yesterday. Well, may get a toucher on it today. It's sort of closing in on a double top there. Maybe a bit of divergence between the two highs, but we'll see. It could. It's very tightly ranged, a very small range. Yesterday it pitched up in sort of a 1 hour bar there, and the rest of the day was just chopping along. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a similar-ish day. There's not a lot to drive it today. Okay, let's have a look at the pound. Now, as I said, keep on saying, I'm still looking to sell into any rallies here, and well, there's not a lot of joy there. Just stuck on the underside of its weekly pivot at the moment. It has got the potential to pitch up, and any sort of more bullish notes on Brexit may pitch it back towards the 4-hourly 50 there. The daily 60-minute 200, so it has got the potential. It's just on its daily pivot at the moment. You can see the tight range it sat in yesterday, held pretty much, and the more it knocks, just purely technically, if you could take Brexit out of this, the more it's knocking on there, that level there where the pivot is, the weekly pivot is, the more chance it will break through and maybe get a decent move away from that as it takes out any stops that are potentially above. So it does, again, it hasn't really put anything in on this time frame. I mean, it's higher lows generally, maybe a pitch lower at one stage yesterday. It sold off quite strongly for a short while, but it's got slightly tracking its way up, so slightly less milder bullishness there. Certainly the euro looks more bullish, but okay, dollar yen still selling off here. And again, looks like, well, could see a continuation of this move back maybe towards that daily 100. Lower highs, lower lows on this 4-hourly, giving all the track of a weaker market at the moment, and it's certainly well, we would be looking at the S1 at the moment if it continues stepping down today. There's nothing really on these time frames until you get back to the daily, which has been in sort of this looping range for so long. Never managed to break the lows originally that we were looking at, and it's back down, heading back down towards that trend line really, and that 100 would be a potential target for it. Aussie dollar, well, despite being sort of decent comments in the minutes that were released overnight there, as in the next interest rate will be up, it's barely moved here. There is a light bit of divergence sitting between the highs here on the dailies. I was looking at this yesterday evening, and it looked like, well, it might have bounced off that weekly pivot, but not yet. So got the potential to pitch up from nearer where it is here. It's just underneath the the weekly pivot that was. Sorry, just daily pivot just above. It's already been here. If it can break that area, well, then it might just confirm a sort of a more bullish move from that weekly pivot. So we'll see how it goes, but it's not the most bullish of moves for a market that's had sort of relatively good news, although previously it had been said that any further interest rate changes would be more likely to be the upside, but that was quite a long time ago. It's sort of been missing from the minutes, but it seems to be back there, but we'll see. Finally, the Canadian dollar jumped off or bounced off the daily 21 yesterday, off that area. Again, it's looking like it may want to roll here, and there's potential for it to roll over. You look at this shorter time frame, 4-hour time frame here, it looks like it's just sort of found resistance into these moving averages, the weekly pivot there, and it looks like it wants to roll at the moment. And if it does start rolling properly, well, I guess that 4-hourly 200 would be a reasonable target for it. Yep, you know, even this picture is so messy for many hours doing it as a day trading currency, but more of a swing. Maybe it's got the potential to head back south there. Okay, that's pretty much it for the major currencies there. News wise today, there's very little. I think we've actually seen the most important news out. Just waiting for my news feed to load. Sorry about that. Goodness, my computer's taking a bit of time to load pages up today. Right, so today, okay, we've seen the Reserve Bank of Australia actually due to sit here. The governor from the Royal Bank of Australia speak at 8:20, although that is a dinner speech, so don't expect too much from there. OPEC meetings today may affect quite a few currencies and obviously oil itself. And then at 10 o'clock we've got the inflation report hearings. 10 o'clock, and really that's about it. There are a couple of other speakers, but they're speaking at sort of dinners and oddish pensions conferences and things like this. So I don't expect a massive action coming from those. Okay, that's it. Have a great day. Bye for now.